Welcome to Wrestling is Hard, where every side is the dark side of the ring. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at hard4wrestling. Email questions and complaints at wrestlingishard@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Wrestling is Hard Productions. I'm Jim. Brandon, welcome back. Yay, he's back.
I'm back.
Back from the dead of some warehouse somewhere. What do you got for me? What do you got for me? How was your experience with the people, salt of the earth?
Yeah, it was an absolute blast. I sent you guys my schedule. It was like 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. down on Washington Ave, in a warehouse. I had to go to this thing. It's called a kaizen, which I guess is a Japanese term for to find the hole in the boat type thing. So they flew people in from across the country because this warehouse that is part of the network that I work for is just fundamentally broken. They're like, we need help. We don't know what to do. So 18 nerds come in from all over the country, and we get there, and it's like, oh, it's a bunch of fucking people standing around. They're just not working. No one's making them work, so they're not working. So about 90 minutes into a 40-hour week, I'm like, I think I know how to solve this problem. I don't think we needed to have people on flights. So in that sense, it was low stress because I'm like, this is fucking stupid, but also then had to bounce around there for another 30-something hours. So kind of depressing. Had the hard truth of what you get when you pay somebody hourly wage in the mid-teens. But that was most of my last week. So I did listen to the pod. You guys did a great job. And that was pretty much it for my week. I started blasting Elden Ring.
Oh, boy.
The new From Software game.
How's it going?
Familiar with Dark Souls. That's what I was doing. Right up until the minute that we got on here, I was trying to beat Godric, the first of the bosses. It's brutal, but it's a lot of fun. I'll tell this story. Why not? So I was like,
go for it.
I've been waiting for this game for 6 months. It's like my two favorite things is that Dark Souls video games and Game of Thrones. And this is the guy that made Game of Thrones wrote the story, and it's like a Dark Souls game. So after working all week, I'm like, Friday, just get this thing here. I get done at noon, and I had to pre-order it on Amazon because I like the physical copy. Because if I just want to collect it, I like owning something. If I want to sell it, you can get half your money back. And so Amazon's like same day delivery. Then on Friday morning I check and it says arriving by 11 p.m. Sunday. So I'm like, nah, fuck that. This is my plans for the whole weekend, scrambling around trying to get it. GameStop has a thing where they'll deliver through DoorDash. So I ordered quickly, same day. GameStop canceled the Amazon one. I'm like, I'll just make this guy bring it to my house while I'm presenting this stupid Kaizen thing. As I'm talking in the meeting, my phone's just going boo, boo, boo. I'm like, this is fucking DoorDash with my Elden Ring. No contact delivery, just begging for this. Like, just leave it at the fucking door. Wrote right in the instructions. Doesn't leave it. He takes it back to some GameStop in the city. I don't know where the game is. So the Amazon one was already canceled return. So I ended up buying 2 copies of Elden Ring after this long work week and owning 0. So I finally got my hands on it. I was fucking pissed. It's a shit week.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram. They're enjoying it. It's not my thing, man. Too hard for me. I like dumb games.
You like to run errands.
I do. Big fan of running errands. I put off the main story of The Witcher 3 for so long now. I'm like 30th level, and it's recommended for level like 22. So I'm just like running through it because I just did side missions forever. And then I was just like, okay, I guess I'll do the story.
I guess I'll actually do it. Yeah, I mean, I encourage it. I encourage you to put your head down and get into it. This one's probably the easiest of all of them because it's an open world and not like you're forced down a certain tunnel. You can circle back and boost your guy up like you could in Witcher, and then come back and have it be pretty easy for you. But
the old one was like, if you tried to run away from the boss, or any monster, it would just chase after you. Correct?
Yeah, for the most part, you had to get good. GITG. That was when I quit my last job. I figured out how to play that game. So this might be the Elden Ring season soon.
The Japanese word kaizen means change for better, inherent meaning of either continuous or philosophy in Japanese dictionaries and in everyday use. There you go. Improvement.
Yeah, it was brutal. I got a lot of the other things I'm just blabbing here because it's so many people from Amazon that I work with. You get to really see like that bottom level of like corporate capitalist hell. These guys sharing stories that they're telling out of the context of like this was cool or this was good leadership. And it's like this one guy, I'm sitting in a group of these guys all loaded, don't really need to be working. And he's like, oh, the one building I worked at, they weren't packing fast enough. So there was 100 people in there and the site leader pulled them all out to the parking lot, had them run across the parking lot. And the people that came, the last 20 people to get across the parking lot, he fired them. And they're like laughing. And I'm like, this is the worst fucking group of people that I've ever even met in my life. Like real dark shit. And they're like, this is how you have to do it around here. This is how you get people to work. And it's like, I gotta sit there going like,
you're basically saying whips. The modern equivalent of whips.
It's like, dude, it's cool. Pathetic. Yeah. Really soulless shit. So maybe I'll be flipping burgers with Chris, or behind Chris a couple weeks if I don't lose my mind.
Let's do it. Let's revamp that kitchen.
Blast, man. Over.
Or a couple days a week. I got nothing to do. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. I didn't have to run any laps to keep my job this week, so that's always a good sign.
Can you fucking imagine?
Well, I mean, there's another way that you can get employees to do more. Just give them more fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because a big surprise, essentially teenagers in a warehouse unsupervised aren't working.
Yeah.
Fucking big fucking surprise. No, I finished Boba Fett, or as I like to call it, The Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yes.
And that was our big job this week, was to finally knock that out, which was pretty good. And I got Disney Plus, so I've been watching a bunch of old Disney movies, like live actions. The Black Hole.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I watched last week. Ones. Yeah, the old school ones, like the 70s, like the 60s ones.
Disney went into this little thing where they started making spookier movies in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Mm-hmm. They jumped from that because they weren't getting the same sales as they were for the kids' movies. Black Hole's a pretty good one. It's weird.
Black Hole is strange. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is pretty faithful to the book or the story, which is pretty cool. I mean, that was a pretty cool one. But yeah, so I've been kind of tooling through there. I try to watch some of the other Star Wars stuff, but it's not really.
How about Gus, the field goal kicking donkey? How was that?
Starring Tony Danza and set in Philadelphia.
Was it?
Yeah,
Tony Danza
kicks
one?
for the Eagles. Yeah, it's Tony Danza. No, but I almost watched The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, which is Kurt Russell, who's like, I don't have like a favorite actor, but if you like put a gun to my head, I would shit myself and then probably say Kurt Russell was my favorite actor because
Russell's my favorite actor.
Somehow, which that brings me this to mind, that somehow I find it very odd that this wrestling podcast goes down the shitting yourself road quite often.
It's like 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, shitting yourself gets brought up.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know, man. We got some bowel issues over here.
A lot of poop.
But that's it. That's all I got.
Didn't come up last week. I dropped off. Maybe it's me, but Chris is indulging in the garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon in his free time.
I don't even know. I'm assuming it's on there. I never seen it on there. I don't go that deep. Menus.
Yeah, same here. Zone.
Yeah.
All right. I saved this for Brandon.
Okay.
Because I know he always gets a kick out of this. The Wrestler Observer Newsletter Awards.
Oh, good.
Nice. Dave Meltzer put them out 2 weeks ago, I believe. Here we go. Mind you, this is subscribers to the Wrestling Observer Newsletter. You have to pay money to read the rantings of a madman in his room full of papers. Good old Davey Meltzy. So we're going to go through these, and Brandon, I want to hear your thoughts. Chris, of course, I want you to hear your thoughts, but we save this, take a little edge off of what was the tough week of warehouse work for Brandon. Trying to find the best spot to start. Should I start at the top or the bottom? Oh my God, there's so many.
Are we going through all these?
Well, I'm going to go through a couple. Let's see. We'll start at the bottom.
I mean, I think the joke here is that we enjoy is how the UFC is intermittently sprinkled.
Disagree. Okay, so disappointment. There's no UFC in this one. I'm very disappointed by that.
I swore there was. Didn't I send you that screenshot that it beat Noah?
Maybe. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Okay, let's go. No, worst promotion of the year. Okay. Best promotion of the year. Okay, let's just start from the top. Fuck it, and we'll get to it instead of just
well-oiled machine.
Yes, well, that's how we're going.
You know what we should do? Hold on. We should get into a warehouse, the three of us, and try to figure out why we can't get this well-oiled machine going. Spend the next.
I would definitely lose the running contest.
60 hours in the tunnels underneath Pennsylvania State Hospital.
Yes. My left leg doesn't work all that great anymore. Okay. Lou Thez, Ric Flair Award, Wrestler of the Year. You want to hear the winner or you want to start from the bottom? Brandon, it's up to you.
Let's go through all of them.
Okay, let's start from the bottom then. Number 10, Jon Moxley. Number 9, Katsuhiko Nakajima from Noah. Number 8, Adam Page. Number 7, Syuri, Stardom. 6, CM Punk. Number 5, Utami Hayashishita from Stardom. Number 4, Bryan Danielson. Number 3, Shingo Takagi. Number 2, Roman Reigns. I can't believe it. And number 1, Kenny Omega. Brandon, thoughts?
Kenny Omega won Wrestler of the Year.
Yes. Overall Wrestler of the Year.
Did they give any logic? Like, does he write a little soliloquy as to why he warranted this, or is this just pure like results are in?
All votes. Yeah, results.
Bang.
So of the votes, he got 3,755 total votes, 629 first place votes. Roman Reigns did about half of that total in 90 first place votes.
The only reason I asked that is because, like, go ahead. The only reason I asked that is because what did he do to deserve it besides being the AEW champion for an extended period of time? Like, by default, I get that person would be in the running, but I don't think his reign could have been much less interesting. When I think of Kenny Omega as a champion, I think of that awkward promo with Orange Cassidy, where he's messing around with his sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
The exploding Roman candle sparkler, only fireworks that were legal in Pennsylvania death match.
He also was hurt for like the last 2 months of the year.
Right. So Bryan Danielson, infinitely more compelling, probably out maybe 2-3 months of the year. If I could see whatever, if you want to eliminate him from contention for that. Same goes to Kenneth.
Bryan Danielson got
Dr. Kenneth Omega.
Third most first place votes. Second most first place votes was Utami Hayashishita, which is pretty cool for me because I'm a big fan. Chris, thoughts?
Wasn't Bryan Danielson? It's all blending together, so I apologize. Wasn't Bryan Danielson kind of top of the card at the beginning of the year, and then went to AEW, and then was top of the card at the end of the year in a different promotion?
Correct.
Okay.
I don't know how much these guys, these dorks that vote for this, work in quote unquote storyline stuff.
Right.
And Danielson didn't have any titles, I guess.
You know, his matches aren't very good, but I'll tell you why Kenny Omega won is because the people that are voting are losers.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Yeah,
I
mean,
really
that's
have
it.
to go that far.
No, we can go that
That's
far.
true.
It's better if we do.
True.
Makes for more.
I mean, we don't have to go that
entertaining
far
plotting.
from. We're not straying from the truth with that statement at all.
No.
Let's move on.
It's because in order to get a vote, you have to be a fucking loser.
I'm paying. I'm sorry, Mom. I bounced my rent check this month. Can I borrow some money? I had to pay $10 to the Observer. Let's move on. Most outstanding wrestler from the bottom. I'm not doing from the bottom. I'll talk about people that I like. Number 9, Tom Nakano, Tommy Knox. Number 7, number 8, Tomohiro Ishii. Number 7, Utami. Got Ray Phoenix at 6, Yuri at 5, Billy the Birdman at 4, Omega's number 3, Danielson number 2, number 1 overall, Shingo Takagi. 2,767 votes, 366 first place votes. Very close to Danielson. Daniel's off by about 120 votes. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, I don't know what it would warrant an outstanding wrestler here. I think we've heard very little over the course of the last year about Shingo Takagi being outstanding. Great company man. He held down the title during that dark period. From what we watched, which granted is few and far between as far as his matches go, not necessarily outstanding, but I mean, there's probably more to get mad about as we go on with here.
Right. Also, the fact that New Japan stinks didn't help us to say oh, this guy's outstanding. Does outstanding mean wrestling talent? I guess I don't know.
Somehow Kenny Omega is worse at being outstanding than being the wrestler of the year. But
yeah, that's what makes me think being champ means something. I don't fucking know. Chris, thoughts?
So, what was the first category you brought up?
It's the Lou Thez Award, the Lou Thez Ric Flair Award, Wrestler of the Year.
And what was the second category that you brought up?
Most Outstanding Wrestler.
Okay. Can you please explain the difference between the two? Because I
have
don't
no
know
idea,
what the fuck
Chris.
you're talking about.
I'm not researching this. I'm sorry. I'm guessing performance in ring is Outstanding Wrestler.
I'm guessing
there's a technical award too. There's a technical award too.
So I'm guessing he's making this up as he goes along. I'm guessing that his thought process for coming up with categories for fucking a wrestling award show that doesn't exist is probably the same thought process that writes garbled fucking nonsense that makes no sense on a weekly basis.
Yes.
What he said was he was going and then they went because so what they do is they would go to the thing because that was where the other one was. And they were saying that she didn't want that. There you go. There's Dave Meltzer.
There you go. Tag Team of the Year. You ready?
Please.
The Briscoes are on here.
Oh, God. They didn't even work. They even work last year?
Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. They're on here. Jungle Boy and Lucha Boy. Usos. Siri and Julia are 5th. Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi, 4th. FTR number 3. Penta and Rey Fenix, 2nd. Number 1 overall. Hold on, wait for this. Double the votes of number 2. I mean, you know who it's going to be. 740 first place votes.
Little stinkers.
That's twice as much as Shingo Takagi for Wrestler of the Year. Yeah, the Stinky Boys, the Young Bucks. Brandon,
hold on. Can we do a quick calc here? I'm gonna guess through these votes submitted, we can get a pretty close assumption to the total count of WON subscribers.
Right.
Is that how you get a vote here?
I guess, but I don't think you get one. I think it's a tiered, so I think you put in 1, 2, 3.
Gets 4.
I think if we go with the total number of
so you get
place votes,
10 for.
Or 5, 3, 1, something like that.
Okay, I don't
3, 2, 1.
I don't want to have to do too much math here. I was just wondering if we could kind of get the full pool of.
I think we can get an average by looking at overall number 1 votes. So the Young Bucks got 740, right? Penta and Rey Fenix got 124.
Okay.
And then FTR got 111. Are you actually doing the calculation?
Yep.
Okay. 23. I'm just going to give you numbers.
Yep.
4.
This is really interesting.
Yeah. 2.
Yep.
1. 2. Done.
So 980.
I'm going to say, yeah, we talked about it last year. I think there's about 1,000 people that subscribe.
Whew.
A whole full swag.
At that $13 a month, he's bringing in $13,000 a month.
Pretty good. I'm a nerd. For doing that, that's pretty good. Chris, thoughts, Young Bucks. Moving on.
Yes, moving on.
Best Starter Interviews. MJF, 1. Eddie Kingston's number 2. CM Punk, number 3. Mox. Dan Lambert, number 5. Roman Reigns, number 6. This is mind-blowing that Roman Reigns is on these lists for best of for there. Stop me if you want to talk about something. Promotion of the Year, All Elite, Wrestling. Stardom came in 2nd. but they were half the amount of AEW. Weekly show, Dynamite. Trying to see anything that's like surprising.
This is like the what Dave Meltzer told me was good recited back to Dave Meltzer award show.
This is like the, like when you surround yourself constantly, like an echo chamber, with the same people that think the same way you do. This is what this is.
MJF
wrestling one.
MJF's promo of the year is fucking nuts.
I know you don't like him.
I like what he like. We'll get into it later.
Yeah,
he can be really good, but just the pure output of dog shit week after week that was coming for an extended period of time for him to win any like of the year award. Come on, I mean the guy has potential. He can do it, but Jesus, I just don't think so.
Eddie Kingston was way better.
You can't say that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he cut the same. Look, he's a great heel. He cut the same promo every week for a majority of the year.
Yeah, for at least 4 months.
Oh, your soft pretzels suck. All right, where are we at this week? I can't wait till the 1 week comes where he says, like, he's in Boston, but he thinks he's in Philly. Your cheesesteaks are bad. Boo. Yeah, like, it's just, same promo every week.
Match of the year, according to them. Young Bucks versus Penta and Phoenix. We voted this one as well, didn't we?
We liked this, yeah.
Yeah, we did like
that. Was great.
Let's see what else is on here. 2 Danielson matches in the top 5, but he doesn't make Wrestler of the Year. Utami and Suri, which was my favorite match of the year. That was 5th. Remember that Walter versus Dragunov match that everybody was going crazy about and we forgot? That was good. That was 6th.
That was good. I forgot.
That was excellent.
That.
Yeah. Well, it was on fucking NXT. That's why we forgot about it. We stopped watching.
Right.
Yeah. And so did they. They forgot about it too. They don't even reference that match at all.
The USFL of wrestling.
Right. Exactly. Here we go. Canada. Or this is Category B award. So there's Category A and Category B. Hold on. I know. This is just impossible.
What's funny about this? What's funny about this is that there's no humor involved in the creation of this.
They're so serious.
This is fucking science, bro.
The B stands for boring. It's Canada MVP. I can't stop laughing at how stupid this is.
Wait, they have an MVP for Canada?
United States / Canada MVP. Both. North America, I guess, without Mexico.
Because fuck them.
Hold on. There's a Mexico MVP too. Number 1, Kenny Omega.
Of course.
Surprise. There's no surprises in this list. Number 2 is Roman Reigns, which is crazy. If you don't understand why I'm saying it's crazy, it's because the worst fan base is the Meltzer fan, and they fucking hate WWE and Roman Reigns. Now, I don't hate WWE. I think it's terribly boring and unwatchable right now. I wouldn't say that someone's bad just because they work for them. These guys hate Roman Reigns for years, and now they're like, oh, I kind of like him now. No, he's all right, Go ahead, Brandon.
Two things. Yeah, you could still have the sensibility to say it's good despite this person, not because of this person, which has been apparent for many years at this point with Roman Reigns. I also like what Canadian wrestling promotion is anyone involved with that they would lump those two into one and then exclude Mexico from this instead of
Mexico gets its own.
Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, there you go.
It's still around.
Maybe there's enough Canadians. I guess they just assume that all the Canadians work in the United States anyway. I'm trying to say, hold on. There's no other Canadians on this top 6 list. They're all Americans.
But it's just
maybe he changed the rules just to make Kenny Omega number 1.
Yeah, it's like the US
stupid.
plus Kenny Omega.
Japanese MVP Shingo Takagi. Number 2 is Utami. There you go. Will Ospreay number 4. Okada 3. There you go. Mexico MVP. I did see that Meltz did plead with his subscribers not to vote for Kenny Omega as Mexico MVP because he wrestled in AAA. They're like, please don't do that. He only wrestled like 2 times. Guess what? He got 24. He got 24 points. He's 5th. Mexico MVP. Number 1 was Hijo del Vikingo. Go ahead, Brandon.
Meltz told her to tuck it into their waistband for just this one award. Cool your jets a little bit.
Take it easy.
Try not to shoot onto your stomach for one.
Please.
One category.
Chris, anytime you want to chime in, go right ahead.
I got nothing for this whole fucking
All right,
stupid
cool.
ass thing.
Europe MVP, Will Ospreay wins overall with Walter and Dragunov.
And Dragunov are in that. Will Ospreay won and wrestled in Japan.
Okay, here's the Hodge Award / non-heavyweight MVP. Okay. Darby Allin.
Hodge.
Hodge, whoever Hodge is. Chris,
Merrill?
do some work. Find out who Merrill Hodge is.
Merrill
Who's
Hodge.
Hodge wrestler?
Concussion man from Pittsburgh.
There you go.
I'm
Who's
on
the
it.
concussion man from Pittsburgh?
Merrill Hodge.
Merrill Hodge.
The Merrill
football
Hodge.
player.
Merrill Hodge
for
was the
him.
announcer for the Eagles, wasn't he?
No, it's Merrill Reese.
That's Merrill Reese.
Merrill Hodge.
This is Merrill Reese for the Eagles.
There's Tom
now I sound
again.
like
That's
the other
Merrill
guy.
Reese. That's
I was
you sound like-
doing. Who was I doing? Another fucking sports guy. Used to be on the radio.
Stan Walters.
Oh,
Bill Warndell.
Bill Warndell. This is Bill Warndell. Darby Allin wins. Ray Phoenix, Hiromu Takahashi, someone named Shun Skywalker, which I'm sure we'll see eventually. Oh, Shun Skywalker, I think, is in Dragon Gate.
It's becoming
Bryan
really.
Danielson is not in the heavyweight. He's not a heavyweight, according to Melch.
It's becoming really clear to me. Not that I didn't know this before, but I got a feeling we've got the combined smarts to surge right to the top of this industry of wrestling commentary. If this is what's going on, if this is the apex, but I think our Bill Warnell impressions maybe.
Our speaker put him over.
Maybe
Our poop
grounding
talking
us.
Bill.
Okay, you ready? You guys ready?
Yes. Merrill Hodge. Go ahead.
Daniel Allen Hodge was an American professional wrestler, amateur wrestler, and boxer. He was a 7-time NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion and is widely considered to be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Okay, never heard of him.
Yeah.
When did he die?
He died actually, what year are we in now? 2022. He died 2 years ago. December, well, yeah, almost. Christmas Eve of 2020.
Wow.
That made for a fun fucking holiday.
He ruined everybody's holiday.
Way to
fucking
ruin
jerk.
Christmas, dickhead. But all right. So when you go on Wikipedia,
Yeah.
there's a picture of him standing. All right, I'm just gonna read the caption.
Mhm.
Right, and he's an old man in this photo. Hodge, then aged 80, crushing an apple with one hand at the Oklahoma House of Representatives in May 2013.
Excellent.
And he's
Okay.
like,
Vote for me.
That's a great old wrestler stunt, 80-year-old wrestler stunt.
But he was-
just
yeah.
crush things in
Crush
their hands.
Crush apples, tear fucking phone books.
phone books, they don't even exist anymore. You have to rip an iPhone.
Get the House
Yeah.
of
Rip
Representatives.
He's so strong, he's gonna rip Google right in half. He was a silver medalist in 1956 in Melbourne.
What do you
Melbourne?
think the House of Representatives did after that? There's like, was there a big vote that day or something? Hodge was jockeying.
Some old woman in huge glasses just like, order,
Yeah.
order.
Now we must proceed with voting on Proposition 942.541. The lady from Sussex County will be speaking for the gentleman of Northwestern County. The time is yours, ma'am.
He's like, I'm not done yet. And he rips
Ah!
the fucking phone in half.
Blowing up a hot water bottle.
There you go.
Who used
There
to
you
do that? What was the guy, Franco Colombo?
Franco Colombo. Hot
And then
water
he
bottle.
shit himself. Got another one. That'll work.
I think I just had a hemorrhage laughing. Imagine blown up.
Speaking of hemorrhages, we're going to talk about one of them later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, I'll blow through the rest of these because we want to get the box office draw because that's always funny. Women's wrestling MVP Utami wins second place behind by 20 points. Britt Baker, Suri, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair. Bianca Belair somehow didn't crack the top two. I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
Who won that?
Utami,
Okay.
deservedly so. If you're going by.
But it's funny that where Charlotte Flair was when everybody, if you watch WWE, which we really don't,
Yeah.
but if you catch any videos, man, they fucking hate her.
Yeah. I
mean, yeah.
the
So
fan base, they hate her. Yeah.
yeah, so like you'd think, man, they hate her so fucking much, man. I mean, she must be doing something right. She must be good at her job. Nope,
Yeah.
I don't like her.
Of the girls we watch, Utami, Britt Baker, Siri, Neo Yamashita was 8th, Tommy Knox, 9th, and Serena Deeb, 10th. Mind you, this is only the top 10 that are listed. Best box office draw. Here we go. It's only pro wrestling. It's very disappointing.
No Hikaru Shida in that at all, huh?
No, not at all. Kind of sucks.
Fucking insane.
I know.
Anyway.
You know what? We'll talk about it. Best box office draw, pro wrestling, CM Punk. And then number 2, John Cena. Okay. Then Kenny Omega is number 3, above Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Kenny Omega, number 3. People are just dropping dead and spending so much money on merch, fake wrestling belts, movies, because Kenny Omega's in it.
The 5,800 people in the Liacouras Center were trampling each other to get to Kenny Omega's entrance.
Yeah, the dude that works for a company that can't draw 1 million viewers in one country,
right,
is a bigger box office draw than the guys that work for a company that is
fucking
national. Get the fuck out of here.
John Cena, who just put out a fucking successful dark comedy on HBO that everybody's talking about. Yeah.
Kenny Omega's consistently getting beat by not Goldberg, the wrestler, the Goldbergs on ABC for ratings is the biggest.
Feud of the year: Kenny Omega versus Adam Page. Number 2, Tommy versus Shuri. Number 3, MJF versus Jericho. Number 4, you ready? Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier.
Let's go.
Oh no.
One or two. Well,
I guess they fought twice in that year, right?
Probably the first.
Well, they fought twice in the same year, so it would be a feud, right?
Okay.
It would culminate.
That's the feud.
Yeah.
At the end of the year when he was sitting on his ass screaming,
Which was,
"I'm
by
on your
the
wife's DMs."
Which, by the way, wasn't even a feud at all. He got knocked out and then his leg shattered in half, like almost immediately. It was a bomb of a feud if there was supposed to be one.
God, yeah, it was basically 2 squash matches.
There you go. There's your. I'm not doing everything else I want to talk about. I'm seeing if there's. Okay, most charismatic. Number 1, CM Punk. Number 2, MJF. Eddie Kingston, Roman Reigns, Maki Ito, Adam Cole, Julia, Conor McGregor, number 8. There you go.
Makes sense.
He beat Orange Cassidy, John Moxley, and Kenny Omega, who were tied. Kenny Omega, most charismatic. Nothing says charisma.
He won most charismatic?
No, he was 10th.
Oh. So he's not top of charisma, not top of in-ring, if we're perceiving outstanding as in-ring.
Not top of draws.
You combine those two non-star efforts into one wrestler of the year. I have a feeling these guys are getting a little bit brainwashed.
I know.
Well, not only
that. Award. Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, not only that, you're looking at why AEW is probably never going to crack that steady million.
Yeah.
Just under 1 million viewers. Like, look what you're catering to.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I actually feel bad for Kenny Omega as we go through this, because if it wasn't for all of this bullshit that we're covering and how he's being blasted at the top of all these, I might have a different opinion of him, but it's like, these are his fanboys. So you're just like, ew.
You almost get like, yeah, I get it. You kind of get like a hater attitude.
I kind of do.
Right,
do.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah. And I don't want to. Like, I really like Kenny Omega, but I've never been a fan. I mean, from, forever, I've never been a fan of his character work at all.
I'm trying to think of a band like that, that maybe isn't that bad, but they just have like their fans are just like absolute junk. So you're like, I couldn't go to that show.
Slayer?
OAR.
Yeah.
OAR. There you go.
Like, these songs aren't bad. I can't be
there. Every band that ever played Ozfest. Band. Number 1 right there. Yeah. I was going to say that, and then I said AOR just to be a dick, but
kind of the same shit.
They're the same shit. But Dave Matthews actually very talented. The guy.
Very talented.
Right. I hate him because I hate his fans.
I don't want to go to a show. I don't really want to listen to him.
I don't want to.
I respect their talent.
I don't want to bartend on a day that he's playing a show on the other side of a massive fucking river.
My sister-in-law was going to buy tickets to take her parents and all of us to the show. And Tina told her, she's like, yeah, I don't think Jim's going to want to go. I was like, most importantly, I don't think I'm going to take off for it. That's the thing. If I have to take off for it, I'm definitely not going to go.
It's definitely Dave.
I think
the MP, yeah.
Would that be the worst gift? Like if somebody came over to my house and was like Christmas time and they were like, "We got you guys tickets to see Dave Matthews." I think I would have to throw them.
Those.
I would throw them the fuck out of my house.
I did say
you didn't buy those. You don't know me. If you bought those tickets, go fuck yourself. Get out of my house. You ain't eat my food.
I did tell her I was like, I'll do Jimmy Buffett though. If you want to get Jimmy Buffett tickets, I'll go do Parrot Heads. Parrot Head would probably be so goddamn funny to watch.
Just go to the back of the room or the top of the
hill.
He plays, the hill in Camden, and just watch them like
drunk old people falling all over the fucking place, fist fighting.
We my wife gets cheap tickets to stuff. All we had to pay sometimes is the processing fee. So we can go to shows for $5 each.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to see the Who.
Talked about this before.
Did
Twice.
we? Yeah, did we? Okay.
Yes, we
Hey, man,
did.
I've been hitting
On
that a
here?
lot.
I don't know. On here we have. I don't know.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
We did twice last year.
Also been
Can
hit
I-
head more than my
Yeah,
fair share.
you can tell the story again if you want.
No, I was just saying we're going up to there in an Uber and going to Citizens Bank Park in an Uber, and people were like walking and going,
Yeah,
and I said, "Welcome to an old person rock and roll show."
yeah.
'Cause
Dude,
I'm no stranger to this. I've seen it a million times. Bob Seger.
Yeah.
I wish I was there for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. See, we've talked about this
We
before.
did.
Yeah, Bob Seger.
Segued right into Bob Seger.
There you go.
I
right,
actually get
go ahead.
excited at this point where I'm like, oh, this is fucking loser
This is gonna
city
be
right
nuts.
now. Look at these
Yeah.
goobers. Yeah.
What a dork squad. All right,
The parrot heads.
I can't. I've got to do Paradise. I don't know if I can do DMP.
Yo, man, they're
I think
playing
DMP 's
naked slip and slide today.
Yeah.
DMP.
Well, you get
DMP is
Jimmy
like people my
Buffett
age
show.
So I don't know if I could do it.
you get a glimpse.
Like if I go
of
to a
just, like,
Parrot Head show, it's fucking old people and it's probably hilarious.
Nobody wants to see those people naked, and they take their tops off and shit at those shows.
What shows? The Who?
No, not the Who.
DMP?
Jimmy Buffett.
Oh God.
This naked
You know.
slip. Guy's always trying to sell me on it by saying naked slip and slide. And I'm like, yeah, those.
Yeah,
who wants
like,
to
that's
see those?
horrifying.
No, I
fucking-
want to see some fucking geriatric ass
hangers?
flopping all over the fucking place. Some wasted udders.
Yes.
Some fucking long ass balls. I'm down for it.
some bus,
Slide
some
it.
couple bus drivers on a slip and slide.
That's when you walk up to it and you're like, oh, look at them. Ah, God, you get an inch from it. Point. Ah, look at his nuts.
Oh my God, their whole body just looks like a
Cigarette.
fucking water balloon. going
Trash
down.
bag full of gravy. Yeah.
Fucking burned ass cigarettes.
Oh my God. What were we talking about again?
I don't know, that's
Shorts
wrestling.
just shred at the crotch.
What's this podcast about again?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who gives a shit?
Poop. Brian Danielson wore Best Technical Wrestler. Brian Danielson won. Okay.
Cool. All right. Somebody.
The first time he's won in years. Kenny Omega came in 5th. Siri beat him. Bruiser Brody Memorial Award. Best Brawler. John Moxley won. Kenny Omega came in 10th.
Brawler.
No, I'm
Should
kidding. I'm kidding. He did.
All right.
I'm lying. I made that up. Best Flyer. Most overrated. Okay. Most overrated. Evil came in 1st overall. Roman Reigns came in 2nd, so he's most overrated and 2nd best wrestler of the year.
May I have a query on this, sir?
Mhm.
Who the fuck is over? Like, who says Evil is good?
Yeah, people are like, he's great. And you're like, no, he's complete. No, he's rated exactly where he is. He
Yeah.
stinks.
Stinks, and he was available to do shit when everybody was on lockdown, so he was around a lot.
They got lots of
Best-
titles.
The
and
best
weird
availability,
fucking spots.
or the best ability, Chris, is availability.
Availability,
right.
That's right. Everybody appreciates a worker that shows up. Let's see. Rookie of the Year, Jade Cargill won by a lot. Yuki Arai, who won the Japanese one, was 5th. Non-wrestler, okay. Television announcer, Excalibur won. Worst announcer, Corey Graves.
Excalibur.
Yeah, or
Excalibur with his shoulder, non-existent shoulders. When they
Oh,
go
it's
to
gonna
him in
be
those
this.
like
Okay.
behind the scenes things.
What were we laughing at? What like pre-pay-per-view thing was it when Excalibur was wearing a T-shirt and that mask
Yeah.
trying to type?
it was at a wedding or something, wasn't it? Or something? I don't remember. Press conference?
He was like they were doing like a behind the scenes of like a feud, like a WWE style like build up show.
Right.
Yeah, he was just in his like library with the t-shirt on, but the mask on, talking about like actual fighting skills.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they do that. Because I think there's one Saturday night. Do that like AEW thing on TNT or TBS, wherever they have an open time slot where they go, is actually, listen, we're making fun of it. It's actually a brilliant fucking move to get this dumb show out there. So you might get some people that weren't going to buy the pay-per-view to buy it. It's like, it's like the equivalent of WWE's pay-per-views themselves, where they give you the whole feud leading up to the match, so you never have to watch a TV show. It's like that. But yeah, he was sitting there in like street clothes, like a t-shirt and the mask.
This guy's little mask jowls are like flopping back and forth while he explains like the sleeper hold of something. I don't know. We can move on.
Okay, let's just do this one and then get off this. Most disgusting promotional tactic. All right. Number 1, WWE firing wrestlers during a pandemic while setting record profits.
Not a promotional tactic.
How about WWE's continued relationship with Saudi Arabia? Number 2.
Probably the correct answer.
Yeah.
WWE using releases and storylines, and WWE's handling of COVID is tied for 3rd.
Kind of the first one again.
Mm-hmm. Tied for 5th. Triller having a Vander Holyfield box. Or hold on. Or Joey Ryan booking himself on the show claiming it was for a women's charity. Thoughts?
Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't even know about that.
There you go. Chris, thoughts?
I'm going to have to, because it hits a little closer to home. Because
there's still some more.
I'm going to have to throw Joey Ryan at the top there because he's such the slime ball.
I almost did the same, Chris.
The Saudi one's pretty bad, too.
I like that take, but it's such a fucking, like, you just slipped into what I'm going to make fun of, in my opinion. The hilarious wrestling fans mindset where they'll, like, because it's all in the bubble of pro wrestling, they'll completely, like, unprioritize a business, actually, like, working with the Saudi Arabian horrific dictatorship.
Right. No, but
where it's like that didn't win like 1,000-0. It's like maybe Joey Ryan.
No, well, that's not what I'm thinking. See, I'm thinking it. What I'm curious as to what the legal ramifications could have been if he had just backed out of that fucking contract, and if he wanted to go to court with fucking Sheikh bin Salman and get the shit suit out of him.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, like
that's the reason why they're still doing it.
They're still doing it because
they're contractually obligated.
Yeah, because fucking they're contractually obligated. It's a fucking PR nightmare.
They're bombing what, Yemen, like constantly.
Oh, it's the Houthis in Yemen. Yeah, fucking atrocity.
Oh my god!
Like what WWE for bringing Becky Lynch to perform in front of thousands of murderers. Like number 2.
Number 2. Sorry. They fired people. That's much more important. Dana White running Full House shows with no masks during the pandemic.
Let me tell you something. We went to fucking AEW. Nobody had a mask on. Fuck him.
I think that's it. That's all I want to talk about. That was a lot. Let's move on. All right. Any final thoughts on the Observer Awards? Can't wait for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole year we don't have to talk about him again.
I can't wait.
Well, we'll be talking about him next week, I'm sure.
Maybe we should just bank that for when we want to skip a week or something. That was like an hour on this.
Right. Cinderella Dream. Is that what the show is called? I think it was called something else, not called Cinderella Dream. Stardom's Cinderella Journey in Nagaoka.
What's with the Cinderella?
That's their big thing. They have a big.
Yeah.
It's the winner of the tournament is Cinderella, and then Cinderella gets a wish. She could challenge anybody. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
It's a little gross.
Well, it's
I know.
Gender roles. It's gender roles. They can't just be champs. They're Cinderella.
Yeah.
Princess. Everybody wants to be pretty.
It's definitely been like the biggest hurdle for me to get over while getting into this show. Is
Cinderella.
The childish like design of their. I don't even know what you call it. Like the looming background is like very childish of some of this.
It's that
cute. That's their aesthetic. Cute.
That's funny because the hardest thing for me to get around watching these shows is the Japanese Stephen Hawking in the front row.
He didn't make it. He didn't make it to this.
I didn't see him. I looked all over.
Not many people did. Apparently, Nagaoka was covered in snow. So if you watch the show, there's not many people in that. Like the first rows are full, but that top shelf was empty.
Nothing like waking up and looking at Instagram and seeing a post on the Hardcore Wrestling Instagram account, which is the Cinderella's Journey champion in lingerie on her account with 30 followers, which 2 of those are my mother and my grandmother.
Hey, man, I know our audience. I know our audience.
Gammy, don't go on Instagram today.
They're like, this kid is fucking going off their rails, man.
I
This
know our
city's
audience.
bad for these boys.
All right, let's go into a couple of matches. 6-man tag match, Donna Del Monde versus Donna Del Monde. Brandon, thoughts? Mariah and her coming out party, I believe. This was a showcase for her.
Is that what it was? Yeah, because I was going to say she was definitely the most interesting. Her and Thekla. I thought it was cool seeing Thekla as well with that group. The only other match you'd watch was her as a singles. Big tag stuff is what we get. I enjoyed seeing all of them. I'm a big Julia fan, but this kind of settled into that mid-level tag match thing for me, where it started to feel like a spot fest, I guess you would say, and to the point where the people that weren't in the ring were not even hanging out on the apron, but just kind of like standing on the ground outside, and they'd pop up, check in for their spot, in and out. But for me, not having watched a ton of their matches, I still was excited by the fact of seeing all those people working together, and Mariah looked awesome. So,
Chris, thoughts? Did you catch?
Yeah, I did. I thought this was dope as fuck. I really got a kick out of fucking Thekla selling the way she sells.
That one back drop that she took, man. Yeah, you don't realize how fucking stiff those rings are. She takes a backdrop and it sounds like all the wind gets knocked out of her. She's like,
yeah, well, that's how she sells most of that stuff with that. Oh,
yeah.
But she's really good. That whole match was really good. It was a decent, they managed to do one of these spot fest six person tag matches without being, just getting boring and dumb after a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm so used to watching American wrestling that it relies at this point at all. And especially, most of the American wrestling we watch, it's pretty much all AEW. And when you get to 6-man, they all quickly rely on shtick.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm kind of over it all because it's the same dudes over and over again. But this was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I'm sure I would probably get sick of it if I kept watching them in Stardom. There's only so much you can do in these matches. If you're going to use it to showcase somebody like they did, that's a good move, and it worked really well. I didn't notice it until you guys just brought it up. I was like, oh, yeah, she was in the ring almost the whole time.
Yeah, Mariah and Thekla were both.
Yeah.
That's what they were there for.
So, enjoyable. I dug it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I didn't mean to shit on it. It's just I'm probably anti 6-man or woman in general. And when I see them, like, what kind of took me out of it a little bit is like the idea that the tag teams were like not even looming around the apron or like involved in the match when it wasn't their spot. It's like, oh, this is clearly just like a very, very choreographed one after another rhythmic thing. So
yeah, so sometimes it looks a little dance-ish. You know what I mean? Especially the younger wrestlers, newer. They look like they're going through the motions sometimes. But
not bad. I don't
know.
Well,
go ahead.
It also has that, we end up getting that, you get a different perspective when you're watching it on TV, right? Like if you were to give me, if we went to go see Stardom at 2300 Arena and I got 5 6-man tag matches and I got to see every one of their people in those matches and it had no outcome. And then, and then at the end, maybe they have a title match, right? A singles match. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. I paid my money. I got to see every star that was there. I'd be happy with that. Right. If I went, when you're watching it on TV, it kind of loses that effect. Right. You know what I mean? Because it's basically just fan service at this point when you start doing that. And it doesn't really, they don't usually advance storylines. And when you watch it on, like, say, AEW, they use it to advance storylines. And it's usually just, hokey bullshit. But, I see what they're doing. I mean, it's why New Japan does it with the first half of every card that they do.
Right.
One of you two definitely would have, if we actually bought Stardom tickets for 2,300. One of you two definitely would have texted and said, it's a bunch of fucking 6-man matches.
I would have.
and
No, I
not
wouldn't.
been
I wouldn't have been able to reach my phone because I'd be in my wheelchair. It'd be on the back.
With your satchel.
My satchel, covering my dick.
Covering your pee-pee.
Covering my bones.
Cover your pee-pee bone.
Moving on.
God, remember
High
when this
speed
was a
title
wrestling
match. Starlight Kid versus Azumi. Starlight Kid's a champ, and she loses the title to Azumi. Who Starlight Kid doesn't beat Azumi very much. Brandon, thoughts?
Go to Chris first. Something.
Chris.
The first thing I thought when I watched this match, like after the first few minutes, I was fucking winded. Like my cardio was shit.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was really good. I wasn't aware of the gravity of this show was. So when I turned it on, like you said, there weren't a lot of people there. I just assumed it was just like a show with not a lot of people there, and it wasn't really that important.
Right.
I wasn't aware of the fact that it was, they were buried in snow, and that's why nobody was there. But so I was really surprised that she lost the title. I do like this, like even the heels go babyface at the end to show respect, and then they immediately go heel again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'll shake your hand, and then I shove you. Which is a weird thing. I kind of dig it. You're only going to get that in Japanese wrestling, and really only going to get it in with women in Japan. That's why it seems to happen. Title matches and things like that. But yeah, this was really good. I mean, this was off the wall. I really enjoyed this match. I was really happy to watch it.
Brandon, again.
Yeah.
Have you got new composure?
I have. Yeah, Chris nailed it. This was so much fun. Definitely my favorite of the three that we watched. They choreographed up front, and they go right into the elbow spot, and it's like you could get the feeling, which I was okay with this, where it's like they are flying until they just can't, and then it's like they'll get their little rest segment where they're working on something, doing a little bit of submission work or something else, and then moves back into just like zooming through moves, and it ends up ending with the submission, which I thought was appropriate as opposed to just the speed, which is like not that it loses its umph, but I like that it ended the way that it did. Very fun. This has been probably the most interesting belt for me consistently. This is the third or fourth of these that we've watched. So huge fan of this.
Yeah. The wrestling world discovered them this weekend. So, yeah, good for them. Starlight Kid loses the title. It looks like she's moving on. She's tagging with Momo Watanabe against to fight for the tags coming out of this. And also she's got a match with Kairi. And Azumi wins the title, and I don't know who's coming up next, but it should be fun. Japan has opened up, so some foreigners are going to start being able to come over for people to work. So maybe we can get some talents and maybe some AEW people in there. I hope not. Should come in and challenge. It'd be nice. Or anybody. Somebody new, fresh. Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, I know we were talking about this with AEW before, but my first thought is Tony Storm.
Tony Storm's too big for the high-speed title.
Oh, you're just talking about for the high-speed title. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Wonder of Stardom title in a second. Right. Yeah, that's like juniors. It's like the junior title. So Starlight Kid's 20. Azumi's 19. They've both been wrestling for 9 and 10 years, respectively.
Insanity.
Right? And also Azumi's fucking the submission where she does that double arm trap. It's just it probably isn't painful at all, but it looks it fucking hurts. And Starlight Kid screaming like to sell it was fucking great. Good.
This is like rare. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was going to just say that's a pec stretch. If in real life, it really fucking hurts.
There you go. Yeah, Brandon.
This is like rarefied air to see somebody. I did not know that they were 19 and 20, but with that context, very rarely do you see people that young moving that precisely within the ring.
Yeah, and they both put on muscle, and Starlight Kid in particular has gotten bigger. And they're pretty much injury free for as long as I've been watching. Assuming he was out for a little bit, but not for long. Most of the times when they were out was for school, which is so crazy. They were doing high school shit.
It's fucking wild.
I guess that'll be the kind of the question with them. I know compared to UFC the past couple years, that the physical toll it takes, the first wave of people that were doing this like since they were young, I've seen a lot of them flame out for like physical reasons, just because we haven't seen a lot of people do these things from since they were 10 years old. So hopefully hopefully they can stay healthy. But
some of the women from the 80s who were definitely dropping each other on their heads are still wrestling. They're in their 50s now. So
true.
And what's his name? Rey Mysterio, still doing it.
Yeah, he's still going. Yeah,
true.
He was wrestling as a teenager.
Yeah. Wonder Stardom title match. Saya Kamitani defends against Natsupoi, and she wins. Pretty fun match. I think it was Saya Kamitani's first. Well, it was her second defense. It's the first one where she looked dominant. Brandon, did you catch this? I
did, yeah. I would say this was, I was lukewarm on this only because it's that awful spot where it's like, well, that was what I just watched was insane, and it's just you can only tolerate so much of that where you're like this next thing can't top this. But I thought they rose to the occasion to the best of their abilities. I found myself in this a little bit, and again, it was probably because I was almost like mentally exhausted from being so into the last one, finding some spots or things where they were missing a little bit. I think it was Kamitani like lands on her all fours trying to go out of the ring where she's trying to land on her feet, little things. But I had to remind myself the shit that these two are doing is so bananas. Like they are really pushing to the outer limits of what they're physically capable of doing, that it's like it's okay if they're not perfect at it at this point.
She did like career. Sai did a springboard off the top rope, and I think she was supposed to do some kind of hurricane runner or something, but she overjumped, and she just did like a bulldog instead.
Yeah.
She's only been doing this for like a year and a half or 2 years or something like that. I think 2 years. She'll get better.
But
she still moves a little fast.
Like the stuff that she does. The stuff that they're doing is like high level New Japan wrestling combination. So
yep,
you have to remind myself of that.
Overall, it was an above average show, I think. But yeah, definitely go out of your way to check out that Starlight Kid versus Azumi match, I would say. All right, let's move on. I'm not going to talk about Vince and WrestleMania. Who cares? It's bullshit. Let's talk about AEW. You ready for this? You all ready for this? Actually, I want to talk about this. So, New Japan Cup. Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tenzan are injured and will miss it. Chris, are you going to watch it now?
Not Tenzan's not in it? No. Absolutely fucking
Brandon,
not.
Are you gonna watch this? We went over this last week. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I was
48-man New Japan Cup.
It's like they were forced to have 48 men in it. It didn't need to be no one made them do a 48-man.
Well, it's their 50th anniversary. It's as close as they could get to 50. That's all it was. That's
so. Well, hold on. So they needed 50 guys. They'll drag Fujiwara out of whatever fucking box he's living in to do that fucking New Japan Rumble.
Yeah,
but they won't let him lose in the first round.
Oh my god, the anniversary show. Okay, so I joined a gym. So today was the first day going back. So I'm on the treadmill and I'm like, you know what? I'll throw my phone. I'll throw the anniversary show. I watched the first like 20 minutes, was just the introduction of these legends. Oh my god, they're all so fucking old. None of them can walk. They're all walking with canes. Masa Chono was at the announce table. He gets up on his cane with his dyed ass black hair, and he's fucking waddling out to the. Oh my god! The main event, I believe, had Fujiwara, Fujinami. Mind you, both of those guys. I forget who the third guy is, but 3 of the 6 people in the ring, 3 of the 6 people were over 80 years old. So there.
Shit, that didn't inspire you to go another mile on that treadmill.
They could walk in. They could walk in that ring. If they could walk in that ring, you could have gone another couple clicks on that treadmill.
That was my push. Yeah, I will watch the rest of this, but I do not recommend anybody watching it unless you like love the old New Japan. You just want to see these dudes. It's kind of like, oh boy, one guy was just standing in the middle of the ring because they had all these chairs set up in the ring. There's like all these old men sitting there. This one old guy is just standing there shaking people's hands. It's like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Like, have a seat. He's just like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I got lost.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Oh, no. How much you want to make a bet? He didn't know what the fuck he was doing either.
He might have been, I mean, he might not even be a wrestler. He might be just some old man that wandered in. They were like, he must be one of these guys. Come on up.
You're old. Get in there. We need you to fill a seat.
you go. All right.
What gym did you
AEW.
join? What gym did you join?
Of course, Big Purples, baby.
Oh yes, Lunk Alarm.
Uncle Arm.
Get that 2K a
What's
day
Lunk
in,
Alarm?
Jim.
Are you
What's
turning
Lunk
over a new leaf? 2022, bringing the left leg back.
I am trying to bring the left leg back.
Total
Hard.
Annihilation, 2022.
That's
That
right.
left-
No
that
Mercy
left
last
leg
year.
is the way.
Total Annihilation this year.
So did I go over my theory with you guys? So the real reason why I'm going to the gym. So I got my whole back done. And I said to a couple people, and I was like, do I have to be a tank top guy now that I got my back piece done?
You're shirtless.
They're like, yeah, you kind of got to be a tank top shirtless guy now. It's like, why did I get it if nobody's going to say it? Because I was making a
Right.
joke. My buddy who's doing the work was like, oh man, it looks great. And I was like, does it really matter? I'll never see it. Like,
Nah, you got to show it off.
You could put some poop on there. I wouldn't know the difference. But yeah, the consensus was that I got to be tank top shirtless guy now. So I'm working on my shoulders and back. A lot of work on my shoulders and back. It sucks being back this is the first time I've been in the gym since way before pandemic started.
I've been getting nicked by Big Purple for 10 a month for 2 years now. I haven't been in there. So if you want to go, let me know.
Yeah,
That's their
I'm going
That's
to the
their
one.
hope. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead. No.
Yeah,
I'm interrupting.
I'm going to the one up on
Aramingo.
Yeah, that's 1:00. It's the magic hour for me. The magic hour is 1:00 in the afternoon, and I guess late night workouts, which I might try to do tomorrow because I ain't got no time in the afternoon.
Let's get in
We'll
there.
see. Chris, go ahead. Your thoughts?
I was just going to say that's their whole business model. It's
Yeah.
for you to not go and give them $10 a month.
I mean, I'm using. I have a Funimation fucking. I don't want you barely even watch anime, and they got $10 out of me for the whole year.
The magic hours are like you said, 1:00 late night, super early in the morning.
Yeah.
Or around that like 9:30 to about 11:30 time.
Yeah.
When you got all the pre-work people are gone. People that go shower, go right to work.
Oh, right.
They're
You
all
mean
gone.
AM? Yeah.
Yeah, AM. Mm-hmm. I try to squeeze it in then.
I think 1 p.m. works best for me. I got in there
that's a
around
good time.
1:30 today. Did some, stretching, then weight training, and then I did cardio. But I ran out of time. I only was able to do 20 minutes.
Nice, man. Good for you. I got to get off my ass.
I'll be sore as fuck tomorrow. I gotta work
Would you take a piece of advice I've learned that's worked for me?
Yes, sir.
Do your cardio first.
Okay.
So you don't, because some days you're going to want to laze out.
Yeah.
And when you're getting up there in the ancient years that we're getting up there in, that's probably the most important thing for you to do.
Cardio.
So when you go in there and then you have a workout and you're just like, I don't fucking feel like being here anymore. When you leave early, because it will happen, it happens to everybody, you will have gotten cardio done. And the other thing that my nephew turned my wife and I onto, do you remember they used to sell 8-minute abs on a DVD?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it every fucking day.
Yeah, I do all my abs. I do push-ups and abs at home. I'm
Well,
not doing it in the gym.
But I put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
On my phone, and I can listen to them to tell me what to do. It's the same thing every
Oh,
single
you do
day.
it at the gym?
I do it at the gym because they have where I go to the gym. They have a big AstroTurf area.
Oh, okay. It's
Right,
so
so I
have a
just do
separate
everything
area.
at
It's
the
like a
gym.
stretching area that has like
Yeah.
yoga mats and shit.
AstroTurf.
Yeah, they have AstroTurf.
He's working out at fucking the NovaCare Center.
I
was
work
gonna
at Edge Fitness in Cherry
I
Hill.
forgot Chris is on the Eagles.
I work at
Bird
I work. I'll tell you what. I work out at Edge Fitness in Cherry Hill. It's probably the best gym I've ever worked out at.
Damn.
Just
Big
because
Perp?
everybody there is super cool. They're super happy to be there. And, I mean, the only thing that's weird about going to the gym now, the transition from, because for when I lived in the condo in Philly, I had a gym in the building, and I didn't experience a lot of this, but we get a lot of people in the gym that I go to, but it's really big. There's a lot more selfie taking.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
I guess
like
occupy space. I'm in my own zone, dude. I don't even look.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who kind of dances in his phone with a ring light in the locker room, while dudes are walking around behind him with their dicks hanging. It's you don't. I feel like it's a Seinfeld episode, like he's peeing in the shower. It's a clear violation of health club policy. They have it on the walls. You're not supposed to have your cell phone out in the locker room.
Yeah,
I make sure I walk past it like.
I had
my dick swinging.
my bag with me, and I went into the bathroom before I left. And on my way out, I noticed a sign that said "No gym bags the gym, and I was like, fuck. Day one, I've already violated. One thing that I do not have, workout gear. As you can see, I'm wearing this like gray sweatshirt. My workout gear looks like I just got out, like they let me out of prison. That's what I look like.
You're walking up to me at work with a bunch of papers. Hey man, I just got out of jail. I was wondering if you could give me some money to get the bus home.
I'm not that guy, but I gotta invest. I just think it's stupid to spend money on clothes you're gonna sweat through.
I don't have workout gear.
Agree.
What do you don't have like shorts and?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I use them between that and jujitsu. I mean, they're fucking disgusting.
What are you wearing for pants wise? Jeans?
I got sweatpants on. No, I ain't wearing jeans.
I mean, that's appropriate.
I wear sweatpants, but I had to take them off at the gym because I can't be.
Oh, I got it. As soon as I got to the gym, it's fucking 80 degrees. I had to take my sweatshirt off immediately. Got in there. I had this sweet ass Sendai girl shirt on.
I have to.
Coolest dude in the gym. I got my Sendai girl. Let me show it off since it's that hour. Show off your wrestling gear.
Let me see.
Sweet ass Sendai girl shirt. There you go.
Did that guy that wanders around there with the Flyers logo tattooed on both sides of his skull go, yeah, that's a sweet ass Sendai girl shirt?
Oh, I didn't look up. I don't look up.
Have you seen him?
I haven't seen anybody.
He's a regular.
I saw some dude that had
Lee's Hoagies across the street. He's got
okay.
Like he's wearing a Flyers football helmet. He's got the Flyers logo tattooed on both sides.
Nah, go Birds. I don't know. No, I didn't notice.
Anyway,
I'm in fucking shock. I think I would quit. Like if I saw that at my gym, I don't know if I could be here anymore, man. I can't hang.
I'm super fan. Yo, super fan.
So you fucking sins the thing. Yeah.
You like orange and black?
Oh,
get you fucked out. What's that guy? That truck in South Philly? What's it say? It says Flyers game. Work or Flyers game. Drop the fucking puck. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they super airbrushed hockey.
Brandon, have you ever seen this truck driving around Philly?
Oh yeah.
Drop the bolts.
Drop the truck. Drop the fucking truck.
Drop the fucking puck.
Worker hockey. Drop the fucking puck.
It says it airbrushed across his entire.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's got Ron Hextall, who used to be a goalie for the Flyers, airbrushed on it.
Mm-hmm.
He the guy that ate shit the entire time he fucking played here and then ruined the team as the GM. That's the dude that's on your fucking truck.
You used to fight.
You got to fight one time.
He would skate across the whole ice to slug it out.
Cunt.
Hey, speaking of fighting.
With a Finnish goalie. Yeah,
AEW. Let's do this. Tag Team Battle Royal. Dynamite. Tag Team Battle Royal. Brandon, thoughts? Dragon wins, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's we get a fucking battle royal to open a show. I think it was a decent, like they did a nice job having the right person from every tag team close it out. That final six, Kyle O'Reilly finishes it off. It's one way to clean up a kind of hazy tag division, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Chris?
Yeah, this was a fucking mess. I mean, it told the story of what, like Brandon just said, they had no idea what the fuck they were going to do. So it was a good way to kind of get a number one contender or somebody to be in that triple threat match for the tag team titles. But I also think everybody fucking knew who was winning. It was either going to be the Young Bucks or Red Dragon.
Young Cubs.
And then 90% of this match was in picture-in-picture, which probably did us a fucking favor.
It's fine by me.
Yeah, I was pissing and moaning. I was pissing and moaning about it being in picture-in-picture when I was watching it. Now that I like, and I'm retroactively rethinking this thing, and yeah, I'm good. I'm good with fucking Domino's, fucking Batman Pizzones, and fuck.
Oh my God, the Batman Calzone,
the Pizzoni, Little Caesars Batman Pizzoni.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
It's
Batman Calzone. I love it.
I was laughing at that Instagram post you had.
Yeah, I'm fucking dude. Tough day at the gym today. You know, I should reward myself by eating an entire Batman calzone.
which is just the loosest definition of a calzone, to just fold two pizza slices in on the pizza.
It looks like origami. It's a pizza origami. But whoever just folded, just the corners are.
Whoever came up with this is a fucking genius.
I think it's amazing.
No, it's really smart.
Fucking fantastic.
Speaking of like lowly paid employees. They were like, how the fuck do we make this look like Batman that we can get anybody in the country to do it for like $9? Just like, just don't cut the whole pizza, cut 2 slices and just fold them over. That's Batman. And we're going to call it a calzone.
Calzone. It's got a Y.
Calzone.
Calzone.
Because it's crazy. It's Little Caesars, man. Everything's wacky.
Well, they don't want to be sued by Italy. I call it a calzone.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet. I've never been to Italy, but I am willing to bet you can't find a fucking calzone anywhere in that goddamn country.
Yeah, I don't think so. Panzerotti, maybe. They wear Panzerotti as hats over there.
Eating wacky pizzas is just funny.
That's my favorite. Any cheese stuffed crap. I'm a fucking huge fan. Just pour it all over my face.
Panzerottis. Remember, we used to devour those fucking things. They were so good.
I
can't even bring myself to get one, and I'm fairly certain my wife will not allow me to bring one into the house.
I remember when we were in college, when I was in college, a big thing was ordering those Pizza Hut. They would send you like a filing cabinet full. Yeah, that you could like pull out the drawers of just like pure crap.
Yeah, delicious. More about this match. So Adam Page comes out. He does a promo while they're in the ring on Adam Cole. I did like Bobby Fish just talking shit the whole fucking time. It was great. Did you catch this?
I did, and I'll tell you what. I said out loud. I love the fact that Bobby Fish has not shut the fuck up this whole time, because that's how a Weasley backup to the bad guy should be.
Yes, either the muscle or the slime ball.
Yeah, I think that he's like, look. The guy ain't gonna fucking they're not putting a promotion on that dude's back and letting him run with it.
They're lose matches to younger guys. That's what.
But you know what? That dude has always been like that. He talks shit the entire time. If you ever see those guys live, he never shuts the fuck up.
Yeah, I remember he broke out into a promo during the signing session at AEW or at a fucking Ring of Honor show. It was fucking great. He just started screaming at, I forgot who he was wrestling at the time.
Jay Lethal, I think it was.
Jay Lethal, it might have been.
Who knows?
Ring of Honor dude. Ring of Honor dude number 3.
What a fucking bum.
Yeah. MJF's promo. This is pretty fucking awesome. Brad, you back?
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead. This was great.
Yeah, there's a couple promos during this show that I focused on and did the like Jeremiah Johnson classic, that gif, like the silent head nod, like you did it. Yes. I thought this made a ton of sense and sets them up for an infinite amount of moves out of this. You could go, they could both heel turn, they could both double heel turn. They're complex enough characters at this point. We always say this, just say what makes sense. And for him to explain the troubles that he's gone through and sound like a human being, like, we know he's a rat. Okay.
Right.
And not that, I'm sure Chris will say this and I don't want to steal his point, but the bad guy needs to think that he's a good guy. And this was a good heel who does this. And this was MJF doing this and saying, hey, you left us. I was here for this. I had to deal with the wreckage that you left as a wrestling fan and someone that believed in this. And CM Punk coming out kind of being like, are you serious? Like, making him grapple with the cold, hard truth of that. It was like, oh, nice, man. Finally, something is just like logical that's going on here. And I was waiting to see that interaction. Like, when you see CM Punk, it's like, how long is it going to take until someone says this to him? Right.
Chris, thoughts?
Well, first, if you're watching us on YouTube, I looked at my phone because I had to Google Jeremiah Johnson. Is it the? I wasn't sure if it was
Robert
the
Redford
movie or it was somebody else. Okay, yes. So when you said that, that's
like
when you said that was the first thing I thought of, and I was like, there's probably some dude now singer Jeremiah Johnson, and I'm not aware of it. Let me go look and make sure.
All country dude.
So, yeah, you hit all the notes on this. There's really not much more I can add. The only thing that I am going to add is when he comes out and he spins this fucking thing around and becomes super heel again and shoves it up, everybody's ass is going to be brilliant. And I'm going to fucking love every fucking second of it because they are going to boo the shit out of him. The only
using their trust.
Yes, the only thing that I was waiting for, and I'm glad I thought it would have been awesome at the time, and then I thought about it later, and I'm like, no, you got to save that. That can't happen. I was waiting for before I thought, because the way they followed him up the ramp, I thought we were going to get that shitbag smirk out of him, and we didn't. Which means I think it's way too because when you look at this, you're almost looking at a double switch, right? Like, all right, you caused me to behave like this. That's why I'm behaving like this, because I was treated like shit. And apparently that story he told is a true story. That really happened to him. So we're going to do this double switch where CM Punk can't possibly look like the good guy if he goes out and beats this kid up. That was just kind of, you destroyed me and you were my hero. But no, I don't think you make MJF turns out a babyface in this. I think fucking he's going to be even worse, and I think he's going to fucking win.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
think so
going to be worse than he's ever been. Yeah, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it's the classic. We've talked about it a million times. It's where like this guy is such a shithead. Then he comes out and he pitches this justifying, almost sympathetic promo, but at the same time, it's not really justifying. You don't have to act like a complete fucking asshole because you were bullied. You don't have to become a shitbag because you were bullied.
Right.
So it's like, oh man, this is terrible that this happened to this poor guy. I'm sympathetic towards him, but he's still going to be a fucking jerk off. You're still going to boo him in the long run, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it works better than most things work that they do. And within that, you can actually drag this out. And what I hope happens is that CM Punk wins this and you do like your first phase turn where MJF is now like all of a sudden, holy shit, I didn't think I would have this going through my head, that MJF now represents to these people like actual pro wrestling. And CM Punk is like, what would you have done if you were in my situation? It was fucking dog. Like he's now like the indefensible rich guy that didn't have the pride to be the pro wrestling them.
Yeah.
And then
so what if I was making a lot of money? I couldn't do this and I couldn't
do that.
Boo.
And then you drag it out to the next pay-per-view, and then you turn back, and MJF is full of shit the whole time, and CM Punk was like, I always knew that was... And that would work. That would work for like 6+ months. I don't want to watch Dynamite every week in between, which I will have to do, but I think it makes sense.
If we could just get to the payday in 6 months, that'd be great.
That would be cool. I would be like, nice job. Yeah, it didn't need to go on every single week for 20
minutes.
We're
going to have a CM Punk promo this week.
Or you can maybe do something that's, not done at all nowadays, which is do exactly what you said, but instead of having them on, prolonging the storyline every fucking week till the end of goddamn time, you kind of pull back on them and you don't see them for a while, right? You don't have them keep going and going and going. Or you have MJF, maybe if they manage to do some kind of situation where he starts looking like a good guy, only he comes out until eventually he starts behaving like a shitbag again. And then CM Punk comes back.
And we still have Wardlow on the horizon.
And you still have the whole Wardlow situation, which if you look at CM Punk and the way that he's been since he got to AEW, he's kind of helping guys out. He does win every fucking match he's in, but helping guys out.
Right.
The way it looks like, it doesn't look like it's
I think
out of the realm of possibility that all of this is just for Wardlow.
Right.
I would actually disagree with that, only because I think CM Punk is obviously higher on the totem pole than Wardlow, and I think he's been waiting for like the big story to tell that would incentivize him to come back. And the scenario, this is all my fucking playing Elden Ring, thinking through this stuff. Like,
let's go.
They're running this stuff through my head. I think this would be the long enough, interesting enough story for him to tell. That would be like what he imagined when he pitched to Tony Khan. Like, I'll come back if this is what it is.
Right. Right. Well, we'll find out.
If they blow that load on Wardlow, I would be like, come on, man. Not that I don't like Wardlow, but all right.
How about load blowing? Death Triangle versus the Knights of the Black.
Do you wipe it off your belly with this?
Because I wipe my belly all over. And we get we got Brody. We got Malachi. Then we got Buddy. Buddy joined the team.
Yeah, Buddy.
I was laughing at that last week. Nice job. I was thinking the same thing. We got the king, we got the Black Throne, then we got Buddy.
Buddy, I'm your friend. Let me help you out with that. I'm Buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked Buddy, what was his old name now? Now it's
Buddy
only Matthews.
Matthews. Oh,
Now
it
it
was Buddy Lee. Buddy
Rich.
Lee.
Buddy Rich. Buddy.
My little buddy, the toy with the blonde.
I'll think of it. I called him it last week, so it'll give me a minute. It's right there. Go ahead.
He was someone on 205 Live, and when I did watch 205 Live, and that I was like actually interested in as a prospect. So I'm excited. Hopefully, he has the energy to like revitalize his career. But it's kind of in the no man's land with some of this stuff at this point for me.
Chris, thoughts?
So I may go off the rails here. I apologize, but okay. First of all, you called it. We called it last week. It wasn't that much of a stretch to call. It wasn't like we were looking into a fucking crystal ball. It was pretty fucking obvious who was there in that promo that they cut.
Right, Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy. Sorry. So number one. Number two. What is he going to do? So we have another talent from somewhere else that's really got nowhere to go and nothing to do. Enough with teasing the surprises. Just have them show the fuck up. Why are they teasing surprises every week?
Because they want to get you to watch.
No, I understand that.
They're trying to get more than 1 million people, and they're just not out there.
Right. Do you remember when they were rumors? Maybe it's John Cena. Maybe it's Brock Lesnar.
For what?
It's Christian.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Big surprise. The biggest signing we could find, Keith Lee. Not that big a sign.
It is for the dorks in the audience, though.
Well, once again,
yeah.
Who's it for?
Yeah.
It's for the dorks in the audience. So you're not drawing anybody new. You know you got them. Make them
there
really.
Is nobody new.
There's nobody
new.
There's nobody.
No one is suddenly going to start watching professional wrestling.
Right. So there's nobody new. Make it a surprise. Right? Nobody knew was watching NXT, and they told us every fucking match that was happening next week, this week. And I was bitching about that then. No surprise whatsoever. Nothing. Everything was like, well, I guess this is happening next week. Right?
But honestly, I mean, I'm not trying to, I agree with you. But is Buddy Matthews really a surprise? Like, who gives a fuck?
Well,
he said whatever. He was a whatever in WWE. He had a good little run, but mostly an NXT guy. The people that watched NXT when NXT was what it was, the gold and black brand, are now AEW fans anyway.
Right.
That's who you're catering to.
But I guess what I'm saying is that you don't tease a surprise.
You just do it.
You just do it. And then, all right, put it this way. Brandon, your birthday's coming up. I'm going to have a surprise birthday, but I got a surprise for you, just so you know. And then you come home one night and everybody's there and they go, surprise, happy birthday.
You go,
all his coworkers are there.
Yeah, all your coworkers, those guys. One guy comes in and says, you can have your cake if you run around the block and you beat me. Like, oh, that
last person doesn't get any cake.
If I was watching and I'm fucking.
Who's the last person to show up? Let's send him home.
Send him home. I'm a cynic, you know? So if I was watching AEW I was watching AEW last week, and those lights turned off and they turned back on and Buddy Murphy, whatever his name is, was in the ring, I would have went, oh, look. Instead, I went, well, yeah. I mean, they kind of told us that last week, right? If they had a face of the Revolution or face of the Evil, whatever it's called, ladder match for this fucking, or match for this ladder match, the ring and the hemorrhoid pad,
yes,
and the private party guy comes down to the ring, and then they're waiting for his opponent, and then Keith Lee comes out. I would have been like, oh, shit, Keith Lee. No. They told us they had a surprise, and it was big. And they were like, no, yeah, Keith Lee's here. It's just.
No, I get it.
And you're not even on Twitter, which is.
Go ahead.
All of this stuff is conceptually spoiled on Twitter, and you're even not even getting that as much.
Yeah, it's almost like a surprise is dead these days with professional wrestling. But who was the last big surprise that you were actually surprised? Like Edge when he showed up at Royal Rumble?
Yes.
That's the last time. What was that?
That's
3 years ago? It was 20. It was 2020. It was 2020. It was.
Was that
It was the
yeah?
last
Right
Royal
before the
Rumble.
pandemic.
Yeah, it
It was
was,
with Royal Rumble with fans.
At the baseball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling lacks that Iron Dome, so to speak, where it's
Right.
like that actually. I don't know what that relationship is. I don't even want to speculate on the wrestler to wrestling media relationship that they feel compelled to leak this shit, but that should stop.
Yeah, like I don't want to be spoiled. This is a fucking fantasy television show.
so
It's not sports. It's fucking fantasy. This is all bullshit, and I like to be surprised. It gives
To
an
the
element of
to the
surprise
point that I've mentioned this before, and I know Chris has said the same thing. Real sports offer more surprise at this point than pro wrestling because there's this incestuous relationship between the wrestling media and the behind the scenes wrestling culture where they're so apt to leak information to each other that you don't even see that shit. The Sixers just traded for one of the best scorers in NBA history. I didn't know that the top writer in basketball tweeted out 12 hours before it happened, not happening.
Right.
Off the table. And then that's more of a surprise. And that generically happened than the fucking shit that they're trying to set up, which is designed off of surprise.
Like, why do people become so obsessed with NHL trade deadline day, where they sit around and they watch it and they're paying attention, they're betting on it and shit like that? Because crazy shit happens and it's fun and it's surprising. That's why. But then now we have this. It's the old fucking, we got to know how the sausage is made. Everybody's got to know how it's made. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't want to be on the inside. I don't give a fuck about what goes on behind the scenes. I just want to be entertained on television. And when I go live, that's all I want.
Well, we had this conversation a while ago about me talking. I said the same thing. This like weird relationship where the fans are kind of in on the fucking joke. Go back to old school where you don't tell the fans shit.
Yeah, I want nothing.
I want baby faces and heels coming out of different fucking entrances so it looks like they're on either side of the goddamn building because they can't be in the same room together or they'll start fighting.
Right.
That's what I fucking want. Sorry, but there's
still some that do that. Like in Japan, the guys from Suzuki Gun will go and hang out together and they'll take pictures together. After they're done with their media scrum where they're like out to dinner with sponsors and shit, they probably go hang out with Hiroshi Tanahashi and those dudes. But for shit to be put on the internet and photos to be taken, it's just them dudes. Like, no, you can't take a picture right now. Give me that fucking camera and I'll take a picture. But for like the stuff that's going to make it onto press, quote unquote press, it's just the bad guys hanging out with the bad guys, the good guys hanging out with the good guys. Stardom does the same thing. Okay, Chris.
I just want to make this point before I forget it because it already left my mind once and then came back. The one thing that I think has always been a problem, if you listen to enough podcasts about old school wrestling, you'll hear this, is that you have certain wrestlers that will tell certain dirt sheet writers that what's going on behind the scenes, and then that dirt sheet writer gives them favorable press all the time. So you have, let's be honest. So you have a wrestler who tells Meltz everything, and then Meltz tells all his fans that this guy's great. You got to watch this guy. You got to watch this guy. And then those guys all root for that guy, and he looks better in their weird bubble that they live in, where there's like 12 fucking that echo chamber that we talked about before. When nobody and then you have a group of people outside of that who just tune in on Wednesday nights and they kind of watch it and they kind of don't and they enjoy it. Maybe they rent a pay-per-view or two a year when their friends come over, and they have no idea who this fucking guy is. And that's the reality of it, is that a majority of the people are those guys, at least back in the day. It's not so much that now, but it's like, they exist in that weird bubble thinking that if I give this guy information, he's going to talk about how good I am. And the fucking 1,000 people that listen to his or that order his newsletter are going to now be my fans. But in their head, because they live in this fucking bubble, that 1,000 people is 100,000 people, which it's not. And they just give that. It's always been a problem for them.
Right. Final thoughts on this, Brandon?
Yeah, I would actually like to continue to tag on to this conversation.
Keep going.
I think we really haven't touched on this in detail yet, but it is a big problem. Like I already today know via Twitter, Jeff Hardy's going to be in AEW. Well, it'll come up, but this has now been spoiled. It's
Shane Strickland, AEW. We know
it's coming. Like these things are all.
Why do we have to know this?
All ruined. I don't want to know that, and I think to reference your earlier point, nobody knew. You were like, nobody knew was watching pro wrestling. I, in my heart, would like to disagree with that. Is because I know so many people that liked pro wrestling and have a Mendoza line of when they will tune in, and it just cannot burst past the point where those people become involved. And a lot of that is due to like the lack of surprise and the lack of actual crowd reaction, excitement of these events, because of the wrestling media. Like, if you didn't know the time that Bryan Danielson and CM Punk were coming to AEW, and that was a legit, like, holy shit, I thought that guy was retired, and there he is. Can you imagine? Like, the crowd reaction was good. Can you imagine how insane it would have been if that was a legitimate surprise to everybody in that building? I still will pull up on, like, sometimes when I'm getting drunk with my friends on a Saturday night and they're like why do you like wrestling, blah, blah, blah. I'll pull up the first Jericho when he comes out on Monday Night Raw and the Rock's in the ring cutting that promo. And the like legit shock throughout that arena, and the noise is as loud as anything gets. That's been completely removed from the equation at this point. So it is frustrating because I think wrestling can get to that point. It's just like, consistently the bar has been set so low that I can go beyond that. Frankly, that's why I'm here on this fucking podcast, because I'm like trying to call that stuff out and be like, this is what it could be. This no one's saying this, but go ahead, Chris.
I mean, I don't think anybody
real quick.
Yeah.
I do remember a surprise that happened. Danhausen, but I have no idea who that is. So I don't care. I don't know who that is, and I don't care. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was going to say, like you said, Jericho, and even like, look, I never was a fan of this dude, and the show that he popped up on at that time wasn't all that great. But the premiere episode of Nitro had Luger. He was on Raw that day.
Yeah,
nobody knew that Raw was taped. Right? They didn't know what they were in the Mall of America, and fucking Lex Luger shows up. Nobody had any fucking clue. Now, I remember not giving two shits about Lex Luger at any point in my watching wrestling fandom, other than when he used to stand there with the Florida Heavyweight Championship upside down in the wrestling magazines. Yeah. So, I mean, but I know what you're saying. You don't have to let us in on everything. I don't fucking get it. And I don't get the desire to, because I bet you if I told you what happened in the last episode of the post-scene credits of Boba Fett that I watched last night, and I told those guys, and they had the fans there and they hadn't seen it, they'd all be infuriated with me.
Right.
Almost no form of entertainment would work if that week's episode was leaked out 6 days beforehand. And especially when
it doesn't work.
When you exist somewhere between sports and entertainment, and your play is the drama. Yes, I know it's not real sports. The physical side of it is very real. The drama side is substantially higher than real sports. And then you pull that out.
That's why a million people watch, and that's it.
I think of the.
Go ahead, keep going. We can keep talking about this as long as you want. That's okay.
I think of the level of security and subterfuge that went on with the taping of the final episode of Seinfeld.
Right.
And they can't do this. Why would we do that? We'll just let everybody know. We'll let everybody in on every fucking secret. And nobody will watch.
Nobody cares.
Nobody gives a shit
about it. I don't know. Cody's going to show up. He's going to be in the ladder match. Now, let's move on. We just went on for like 40 minutes about that. That's cool, though. Jericho and Eddie Kingston, pretty good promo. Jericho just comes off as corny, but Kingston fucking slays him in this, and it worked. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Jericho was actually decent in this. The fact that he found an angle and worked through it was better than what his prior work for the past 12 months or so. So this was the second time of the night that I gave a little Jeremiah Johnson, like, okay, because I had referenced this before where I was like, oh, Jericho's going to get smashed. And he did, but at least like what he found something to make sense with. And it was a retread of what other people had done to Eddie Kingston. But I think this will be a good, like, Eddie Kingston needs to win something. I think this will be appropriate for Jericho to step back from.
And Jericho, he was purposely being a swarmy jerk. You know what I mean? Like WWE guy. He was being WWE guy on purpose.
Right.
To be the counter to real, quote unquote, real talking Eddie Kingston.
And I'd be remiss to say, very plugged up. They look great.
They look great. Fucking Porcupine's looking good. Okay, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I think the promo was good, but I also don't think that Eddie Kingston, because it's happened now like 3 times, right? It happened with Brian Danielson. No. It happened with. I think he's going to win this. It happened with Brian Danielson. It happened with CM Punk, and now it's happening with Jericho. It's like he kind of seems like the dude that blames everybody else for his fucking shortcomings.
Yeah,
that's what I'm seeing. He's like the, he's like a.
Isn't that 60% of your audience?
Yeah, stinking. They call that stinking thinking. It's your fault, not
They're all a
mine.
bunch of stinker thinkers.
Stinker thinkers. But all in all, this was good. A little I'm over analyzing, but I'm sorry. I know. Once again, we go back to what we were talking about before. If you're trying to expand your fan base, if you possibly could at this point, you can't have this guy lose. You can't. I mean,
you're talking about Kingston.
Kingston, he can't lose this feud, lose this match, and then still look good. It's happened 3 times now. He has to win. What is the fucking point? Why are we still paying you? Right?
Or why are we rooting for you if you're just
right? Well, yeah. I mean, I'm saying as a company, why would a company that's essentially a fake fight promotion or whatever way you want to look at it is going to pay for a guy that loses constantly? And why are the fans rooting for you? You're a bum. Every opportunity you break their heart. I just don't. He's got to win this match. If he doesn't, what do you do with this guy?
Jericho loses nothing if he loses this match. We'll talk about the
No.
But
Ricky, go ahead.
Sorry, real quick. Chris, everything you said is right. I think why I was satisfied with this is because we're 6 months away from him trying to explain what happened. It's like a flashbang went off in my face, and you're just like, none of this makes any sense. So it's like at least now we're getting somewhere.
I'm gonna blow through some stuff real quick. Ricky Starks beat number 10. So he advances in the tournament. Jade Cargill defended her title against the Bunny. A weird match, but it got hot at the end. It was okay. And Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia was the main event. It was a pretty good match. Brandon, thoughts on all 3 of those?
Yeah, Jade Cargill, they seem to have posed some competitor for her at this point with Tay Conti, who had just fought for the title and they kind of ignored. So that could be compelling. Right. That storyline needs some compelling thing going on. I think Tay Conti could fill in that spot very well. Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson is one where I'm like, okay, cool. This is like a perfect AEW cable main event, and that's what we get out of it. And then the Moxley fight thing, I don't care. They really don't need a storyline. I will be interested for the pay-per-view.
Same here. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Thoughts? Sorry, I'm blowing through this stuff. We're going.
Let's do it.
Here.
Just keep going. I got nothing new to say on this.
All right, let's talk about Rampage. Guevara and El Idolo for the TNT title. Pretty good match. Brandon, thoughts? Some weird shit with Matt Hardy. Did Matt Hardy take his foot off the ropes? El Idolo's foot off the ropes, or was he holding it on? I don't know what the fuck was going on there. Brandon, thoughts?
Again, I wish I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but Twitter will tell me this is a little bit of a swerve away from the Hardy Idolo partnership away to the Hardys becoming a thing in AEW as their final act. But I was excited to see El Idolo as underbooked as he is, at least is relevant in something now. I think he can go somewhere from here.
That spring fucking DDT he does between the ropes is fucking insane. El Idolo. It's fucking rad.
Not that I'm some goddamn Lou Thesz level wrestling expert, but it's very weird to watch someone as good as El Idolo continually look great and lose.
Yeah, he looks awesome and loses all the time. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, he's another one I don't understand, but he's so fucking good that it really doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm assuming that they're going to do some you did, I didn't, I meant to help you, because it seemed like a comedy of errors that cost him that match. Right. So you can lose that match and you can blame it on Matt Hardy. But Sammy Guevara, it was the first time I ever watched a match with Sammy Guevara where there were actual plot points in the middle of the match, even though they kind of made no sense. They actually tried to tell a story, because Sammy Guevara is to me, it's like watching a Hulk Hogan match. All this stuff happens. You're just waiting for how's it going to end, Like, what's going to
Right.
be the ending? You watch a Hulk Hogan match when we were kids, it was the same goddamn match. You waited to see what would happen after he dropped the leg.
It was the bad guys that were the most important part of
Right.
Hulk Hogan matches.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Look, I'm not saying Sammy Guevara and fucking Hulk Hogan are,
Hogan.
and I'm not comparing them. But what I'm saying is that you understand what I mean. Sammy Guevara matches.
I'm comparing them,
flip,
but
fly,
I'm not comparing them.
Flip, fly. How's it going to end? I can tune in on the beginning, see the beginning, and then fast forward to the end, and then I'm good. But this
No, I
actually,
agree. It's
this
almost
actually
like it's
had
never
plot
even.
points.
It's almost like it's never even occurred to them that they could be beyond what they're doing right now. And you're like, oh.
Nick Komoroto, that one guy at Live AEW's favorite wrestler, lost to Wardlow. Wardlow advances. I'm going to keep going. Serena Deeb, the Professor's 5-minute rookie challenge, beat the shit out of some woman named Kayla Sparks.
Can I just throw this in there real quick?
Yeah, good.
Real fast. They made a comment that Layla Sparks had 15 years experience.
Kayla Sparks? She looked like she was 15 years old.
She had 15 years of experience. She was fucking. If you're that bad at your job after 15 years, you need to change careers. I'm sorry.
Anthony Bowens versus Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy wins. We talked about this last week, and we've been talking about it and bringing it up. We weren't exactly acclaimed fans when we first started covering this. I don't want to beat this over the head, but man, they are good at getting the shit kicked out of them. And every time they get the shit kicked out of them, they deserve it, and you cheer. So I found this a lot more entertaining than it should have been. Brandon, thoughts?
No, I agree. It actually has occurred to me recently, probably almost because we talk to each other for hours a week, but they just look like such legit assholes in those shitty basketball jerseys. There's nothing makes you look like more of an asshole in 2022 than like a customized basketball jersey.
Yes.
And them
they
doing
do
the
scissoring thing with their fingers now. It's fucking amazing. I love it. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. And I also enjoyed. I'm sorry, but I liked Orange Cassidy with Word to Your Mother. I thought that was.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was
good.
great. That was really good. This was a good match.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
He's fun. This was a guy that we didn't think would necessarily this gimmick would last this long, or maybe we would get sick of it. Every time he's on TV, it's entertaining. The matches aren't always the best, but he's entertaining at least. Good.
He doesn't have to change the story. All he did was add Word to Your Mother. That was just like he adds like these just tiny little tweaks. And you can do so. It's just going to be a little tiny thing that you've never done before.
Yep.
In the match with Chris Statlander, where he just started freaking out and screaming at her to get back in the ring during that one pay-per-view. And it was just like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Or even at the beginning of this match in the promo, and he's going, wait, do I have to climb a ladder in this match? No, you don't have to climb a ladder. It's to win, to get to a match where you have to climb a ladder. So I don't have to climb a ladder.
He's a guy where they make the joke about AEW signing everybody, but the depth and space on cable programming has benefited him.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Real quick, we'll go over Dynamite. Let's see. This week, tomorrow, Tony Khan's going to make another huge announcement. People are predicting that it's going to be that he bought the Ring of Honor tape collection. So this might lead to a streaming service. That's what the rumor is. So once again, we got a rumor.
Not a huge.
Can I add to that rumor? I don't think if they do that, it probably wouldn't. I was thinking about this the other day. It probably wouldn't be a streaming service. It would probably be HBO Max.
HBO Max. Okay, that's what it's saying here on this list that I have.
Oh, does it say it?
Oh, really?
Why
would you think that?
Time Warner
owns
all of it.
But isn't most of this shit on YouTube?
What, the Ring of Honor? No, you have to pay for your Ring of Honor streaming shit.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a Ring of Honor channel where you can watch a couple of matches, but their entire catalog you have to pay $10 a month. That's how I got the New Japan Ring of Honor tickets. I had to pay for their streaming service to qualify.
Yeah,
to get
for early access.
Yeah, for early access. So I got them.
But AEW is on they don't own it, but it's aired on a Time Warner product, and HBO, Cinemax are both Time Warner products. So if they're going to stream it, they can't get over 1 million people to watch it. They ain't getting anybody to play it.
All right. Apparently, there's a tag match for the qualifier. I don't fucking know. This website that I'm reading sucks.
I think there's another tag team match to
Qualifier
get into that.
Yeah.
Championship match.
According to, yeah.
Who saw that coming? Ring of Honor on HBO.
Be fucking nuts. And AEW, I'm assuming. Back catalog of AEW.
Yeah, that's what they would probably do, right?
Yeah. This listing is terrible, so I'm just going to move on to the pay-per-view. Okay, let's go through the pay-per-view real quick because we're not going to be able to talk about it until... we don't have another show until pay-per-view. Here's your matches. Ready? Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti. Brandon, thoughts? Who you got?
I'm glad that it's up front. I hope they give us some
I
drama here.
Jade, I guess, wins. Chris, thoughts?
I think Jade Cargill's going to be another AEW champion for fucking 7 years.
Yeah, that's just the way they do things. They don't just flop them. They keep them on these guys forever. AHFO versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Sammy Guevara. So it's Andre El Idolo, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy with Mark Quinn and Jose the Assistant in their corner. Brandon, thoughts? Is this where we get Jeff Hardy? He's saying he's not out of his contract or some shit. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I think it probably is. I could see them setting it off early with that because all of a sudden this week it was like Jeff Hardy season. So,
right, Chris, thoughts?
We get to see Matt Hardy.
Baby faces win, right?
Yeah, and we get to see
Andre
Matt Hardy.
What's that?
We get to see Matt Hardy move.
Yeah, move.
That's always a pleasure.
All right, 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. We got Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon versus TBD. We're assuming this is the Young Bucks, I guess. Who do you think is going to win this? Brandon, you think it's Young Bucks? Of course it is. Young Bucks aren't on the pay-per-view otherwise.
It's going to be the Young Bucks, but I take it back as we go through the card. This is probably where we'll see our Jeff Hardy.
Yeah,
and I
possible.
think that's where we want to get to with this. Is like, oh my God, it's the Hardys versus the Young Bucks, the two greatest tag teams of the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm. I cared about it a couple of years ago when they did it in Ring of Honor. Now I don't want to see Matt Hardy doing things. Chris, thoughts?
I'm gonna go Red Dragon. I think that's
I think so too. I think Red Dragon wins this.
Probably their most like. I mean, the Young Bucks are a cohesive tag team, but they're most realistic, not annoying cohesive tag team. And I think you really need to push to get Jungle Boy out of that situation and put him on the road to just doing shit in his own.
Yeah, I think so too. Danielson versus Moxley, singles match. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, this will be awesome. No storyline at all. Don't have to have many thoughts. Excited to watch.
I don't need a chair. I don't need this to make you bleed. That was a good line by Danielson. Go ahead, Chris. What do you think?
Don't care about anything other than this match is going to be fun and it's going to be awesome. It doesn't matter who wins, who loses, why they're doing it. It's great.
Who you got winning though, Brandon?
I can't even formulate an answer.
Okay.
I think
it doesn't even matter to me.
I think Bryan Danielson.
I think so too. He lost his last.
Are we blowing through the pay-per-view too because your hard drive is going down, or because you guys are geese and you want to go to bed?
No, because we're 2 hours and then I'm gonna have to cut it short and then re-edit it. I don't want to fucking do that.
Right.
Well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's pause now then. All right.
All right.
I'm gonna stop recording. You guys go take a pee if you need to.